Karissa, this is the third and final season of Spirit Rangers. What emotions come to you when you hear that?
I just had this huge sense of accomplishment. This is a dream show that I always wished I had as a little kid. So to see it finish strong with how I pitched it 4 years ago, we finished with our finale ending in showing that the parents are also spirit rangers. So we're ending on this like Incredibles family moment, but with a native twist. And that just felt so good, and that we could just keep expanding. And yeah, it's been overwhelming and amazing. I'm just so proud of our team.
Let's jump into the highlights from season 3. Tell us about them.
Something that I personally just fangirled over that I had the opportunity to do this was I got to write an episode with our former US Poet Laureate Joy Harjo. We wrote an episode together, and she got to also voice the character in the episode, which was the great oak tree. So beautiful and wonderful. Oak trees are very important to California natives, and are some of the oldest trees in our state. So it was really cool to have this badass elder voice this character, and also getting to write with her was so fantastic.
You know, when I sit back and reflect on this show, one word that comes to mind is the word intentional. Everything about this series has been intentional from the day that it was released on Netflix to the names of the episodes, even to the Indigenous Writers' Room.
I love that you said that and pointed it out, just because everything we have made is has been so intentional. Like there was everybody brought their A game to this show, and I just feel so honored to be surrounded by so many people who wanted to do their best and apply everything that we could and had at this show. Even with our last season, this one we actually did not plan that it came out on an eclipse, but for some reason that just felt like the ancestors were with us and wanted a powerful end to the season.
Wow, what a coincidence. When you think back and reflect on this series, what do you think that you'll remember most?
I really love that I got to work with so many folks where this was their first shot at something, like their first TV credit, their first staff writer credit, their first artist credit. Even myself, and this is my first time show running. So I just think there was this energy that we all brought to the show that I think was so fun, but also just surrounded by so much talent and people who wanted to, tell our Indigenous stories. It's just like, looking back, I think there's also moments where like it just felt so indigenous. Like I think bringing in my Shumash community into the show was really, really special. That was something I'll never forget either. I think as a smaller tribe in California, we haven't really had the spotlight on us as much. So like it was really exciting to show off with everybody, with like Netflix, even just like our rattles and our instruments and our songs and our language. Yeah, it never gets old hearing those kids say haku, welcome to the park. I just absolutely love that.
I want to talk more about that because this show has such a wide reach. What have been some of the most memorable reactions?
Ooh, there's so many. I feel like it's been like I was hopeful this was just going to be an action adventure show for kids and families. You can enjoy if you're Indigenous or not. Um, and that's been really cool to see that like little kids who are not native get to, they have this introduction into our world and they want to be us. They see us as superheroes, as their role models. I think that is really, really powerful. I also I had one family from my tribe tell me that they gifted their sons these abalone necklaces when they were little, and they didn't want to wear them because they didn't think they were cool. And then when Spirit Rangers came out, they asked their parents for their necklaces. They were like, where are they? I want to wear them now. I want to play Spirit Rangers. So the fact that there's that sense of pride that's being shared with our native youth is just like something I really wish I had when I was growing up. So it makes me very happy to hear that. And then I think another overwhelming response that I've gotten is from adults. I think like that's been really powerful to see how when adults are watching this show, they're healing their own inner child. That's kind of how I felt when I was making this show. I was healing my little inner native self and what I wanted to see. And that's just we've just all been in this together. So it's been really amazing.
Carissa, I have to ask, why didn't Spirit Rangers get renewed by Netflix for another season?
Spirit Rangers was not renewed for another season because I only pitched it up until this point. I've been really happy with where it ended, and I'm hopeful like there could be maybe there's Spirit Ranger spin-offs, maybe a Spirit Ranger movie. I'm definitely open to anything and everything, but that's a conversation we'll have to have with Netflix one day.
Karissa, I'd love to ask you, as a writer and a creative, what's next for you?
I love animation. I think the next big thing I'd love to do is like write and direct an animated feature. I feel like it's been a minute since we've had an animated feature since Pocahontas, and I would just love to replace that mantle with something else. So that's something that is definitely a goal of mine. And I also love writing like fantasy, sci-fi stuff. So anything in that realm always makes my heart sing because I love characters who feel like they're othered. Obviously, it's like my experience growing up feeling that way. I can really identify with that. So I'm really hoping to create more stories that center on Native characters. And
Karissa Valencia, the creator of Spirit Rangers on Netflix, thank you so much.
thank you. And thank you for all your support for all three seasons. It really means the world.